Relevant laws means the applicable laws, codes, authorizations, or rules in the relevant jurisdiction, including any law or legal requirement under equity, statute, regulation, ordinance, or by law, whether Commonwealth, territorial, state, or local, and includes the WHS laws. They have four laws related to solid waste. Number one is Resource Conservation and Recovery Act. The Resource Conservation and Recovery Act is the public law that creates the framework from the proper management of hazardous and non-hazardous solid waste. The law describes the waste management program mandated by Congress that gave EPA authority to develop the RCRA program. The second is Toxic Substances Control Act. The Toxic Substances Control Act of 1976 provides EPA with the authority to require reporting, record keeping, and testing requirements, and restrictions relating to chemical substances and/or mixture. Certain substances are generally included from TSCA, including, among others, food, drugs, cosmetics, and pesticides. Third is the Comprehensive Environmental Response Competition Liability Act was signed into law by President Jimmy Carter on December 11, 1980. The law is known as CERCLA or Superfund since it created the Superfund program from cleanup of sites contaminated with hazardous substances and pollutants. The fourth is the Nuclear Waste Policy Act of 1982 is United States federal law which established a comprehensive national program from the safe, permanent disposal of highly radioactive waste.
Environmental pollution is unrated disposal of mass energy into Earth's natural resource pool such as water, land, or air that results in a long-term or short-term detriment to the atmosphere and its ecological health to negatively impact the living beings and their life both quantitatively and qualitatively. Environmental pollution reflects a measurement of a contamination of a living and non-living physical and biological constituents of the earth in a manner and to an extent adversely affect the normal optimum environmental process. The biggest issue facing the environment is overpopulation of humans. All other major environment issues flow from the very fact that we are overpopulating the planet. The world population has tripled in the last 60 years, placing stress on a very aspect of the environment. More land is developed every day to accommodate the urban speed. In 1950, the population stood at 2 billion compared to over 7 billion this 2015. The actual math is that the world population has increased by almost 3 times. The most controversial and political of the top 10 environmental issues is climate change. Recently, an overwhelming majority of climate scientists believe that the human activities are currently affecting the climate change has done to the environment. At this age, the best we can do is regulate the further impact upon the environment by developing more environmentally friendly methods of energy production by reducing the mining and burning water supply. Many experts believe that in the near further water will become a commodity just like gold and oil. Some experts say that wars will be fought over who owns the water supply. Currently, one-third of humans has inadequate access to clean, fresh water. The number is expected to increase by to up the two-thirds by 2050. That is, the two-thirds of the world's population will not have access to clean water. Overpopulation, demand, and population from industry is overfishing. It is estimated that by 2050, that will be no fish left in the sea. The extinction of many fish species is due to humans overfishing the oceans to supply an ever-increasing population's demand for seafood. The collapse of the Atlantic cod fishery is one such example of how humans have exploited the planet's natural resources to the brink of extinction. Since 1990, half of the world's rainforests have been destroyed. The clearing of the forests continue at an alarming rate. To add to the worry, a recent phenomenon has been added to the list. Trees are now dying globally at a rate never before. Pollution of air, water, and soil by chemical compounds take many years to break down. Most of these chemicals are the byproducts of our modern lifestyle and are created by industry and motor by vehicle exhaust. Pollution isn't just limited to the air. Soil is another place where the pollution is starting to take hold. Common toxic substances include heavy metals, nitrates, and plastics. A lot of the plastics that are discarded by humans end up in the ocean. These plastics tend to go unseen by humans as the pollution in every blown of the sea by prevailing winds. 4 types of environmental pollution. Air pollution refers to the release of harmful contaminants, chemicals, toxic gases, particular biological molecules. In the Earth's atmosphere, these contaminants are quite detrimental and in some cases pose serious health issues. Some causes that contribute to air pollution are burning fossil fuels, mining operation, exhaust gases from the industries and factories. These effects of air pollution vary based on the kind of pollutants, but generally, the impact of an air pollution ranges from increase the risk of respiratory illness and cardiovascular problems, increased risk of skin disease, may increase the risk of cancer, global warming, acid rain, ozone depletion, hazards to wildfire. Pollution is said to occur when toxic pollutants and particulate matter are introduced into water bodies such as lakes, rivers, and seas. These contaminants are generally introduced by human activities like improper sewage treatment and oil spills. However, even natural processes such as eutrophication can cause water pollution. Other significant causes of water pollution include dumping solid waste in water bodies, disposing untreated industrial sewage into water bodies, humans and animals wastes, agricultural runoff containing pesticides and fertilizers. These effects of water pollution are very pronounced in our environment. Furthermore, toxic chemicals can bioaccumulate in living beings, and these chemicals can travel their way up the food chains, ultimately reaching humans. Pollution, also called soil contamination, refers to the degradation of land due to the presence of chemicals or other man-made substances in the soil. The xenobiotic substances alter the natural compositions of soils and affect it negatively. This can drastically impact life directly or indirectly. For instance, any toxic chemicals present in the soil will get absorbed by plants. Since plants producer is an environment and gets passed through the food chain. Compared to other types of pollution, the effects of soil pollution are a little more obscured by the implications of very noticeable. Some of the common causes of soil pollution are improper industrial waste disposal, oil spills, acid rain which is caused by air pollution, mining activities, intensive burning and agrochemicals, industrial